Hey Diva Nation, today's episode I'm joined by my beer-loving diva, Mrs. Stoutfire. We've got 3 beers from Brewdog Brewing that are going to tempt our taste buds. One is non-alcoholic. How does it compare to the others? Can it hold up? And Mrs. Stoutfire shares her michelada recipe. Test your beer knowledge with my quiz and so much more. Stay tuned! Warning, what you're about to watch is purely for my own mental well-being. But let's face it, it's some pretty funny stuff. You're about to witness a crazy diva hitting her midlife crisis, and it's all on camera with a little help from her friends. Viewer discretion is not advised. Beer Divas, Beer Divas, Beer Divas, Beer Divas, Beer Divas. Beer Divas, Beer Divas, Beer Divas, Beer Divas, Beer Divas, Beer Divas. Hey everybody, welcome to the Beer Divas Show, where wine is dumb and the craft beer world has taken over the dull American beer scene once and for all. I'm your host, Dr. Brewski, and with me is my special guest in studio today, Mrs. Stoutfire! Woo! That probably is one of my favorite drinking names that I've heard so far. And I've heard some real doozies, but I love Mrs. Stoutfire. Like, did you hear that from somebody, or like, how did you come up with that?
I don't know. It just came to me.
One night as I was drinking a fine stout, I just wanted to be Mrs. Stoutfire. So, groovy outfit, by the way. I love it. So we are going to start the show with my favorite segment of the show, and that is beer reviews. It's beer review time. All right, so first up, we are going to try, we are segmenting Brewdog beers today, okay? So you own
Mr. Sub's Deli. Yeah, it's a bar, restaurant.
Here in Akron,
Yep.
Ohio. So it's, where is it located?
It's in the Highland Square area of Akron. It's about a mile west of downtown, kind of like a little artsy kind of district. Yeah.
So you guys serve awesome subs, which I've had several times, and then you have your own beer that Brewdog made for you, which is called?
Kurt 75.
Kurt 75.
And it's a New England style IPA sour. In the Highland Square area, for some reason, sour beers are really popular, but we want it to be more approachable, so we kind of did like a mix. We actually went down to the brewery and hung out with the brewmaster, and I got to dump the bag of hops in the big vat and watch it all cook and come together. And a few months later, they shipped our kegs to us, and so we served that along with all the many other, Brewdog beers that are just amazing.
Right. So Brewdog originally was in Scotland and very popular over there. And throughout Great Britain, and then recently came over to Columbus.
Right, a few years ago. They built a $30 million facility because when Brewdog was becoming popular in the United States as well, but with shipping and all of that, they weren't happy with the product by the time it hit your lips from Scotland. So they wanted to have a home base here in the United States, so they built that facility pretty much for that. And going along with that, Brewdog also was a huge lobbyist in Ohio to raise the ABV, the alcohol by volume limit, because there was a cap on it, and now there isn't. So they were big into that.
Wow, that's right. So sometimes money influences what happens with laws, right? We all know that. Welcome to America, land of money, right? Okay, so we have 3 beers we're going to try today. The first one is called Elvis Juice. Okay, the second one is Hazy Jane, right here. And then we actually have something a little bit different, which is the Hazy AF, which is alcohol-free. So it has 0.47 ABV, so it's considered alcohol-free. So I want to definitely taste this because I want to know, how much flavor can I get with something that is low alcohol. So I'm excited about that. Okay, go ahead, and if you would like to do the first pour.
Crack it open. So funny thing I learned when we were down at the brewery during the tour is Elvis, and his camp tried to cease and desist Brewdog from naming their beer Elvis
using
Juice.
Their name.
So the two original founders of Brewdog, which I don't remember their actual names, but in the United States, they're Scottish, but in the United States, somehow they legally changed both of their names, their first names, to Elvis.
Okay.
So that they could call this is their beer. It's their name,
So they're not using the trademark Elvis. They're using their own family name.
Yeah.
So, hey, you know what? You're going to do something in business. You got to do what you got to do to make money, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is an IPA. It's got 6.5% alcohol by volume. The IBU you gave me, it said it was 40, so not too bad for an IPA. Usually that's more of a pale ale kind of thing, not necessarily an IPA-ish kind of thing. A little darker in color. Definitely a little hazy too, which I'm sure Hazy Jane will be hazier. So let's smell it. It's very grapefruity. It does smell like grapefruit. Yeah, and I don't really smell the hoppiness either that I would. I'm not necessarily the big hop girl.
I'm the same.
Our buddy, we'll call her Lady Faye. She knows who I'm talking about. Who we tried to get on here today, but she is, a loser. So whatevs on that one. But anyway, she's a big hophead. So
yeah, she is. Yeah.
She definitely goes for the real hoppy stuff. Where I'm more of just Flavor Town, USA. All right, let's taste it. Let's see what's happening. Wow, that does not taste like an IPA at all. Not at all. I mean, I definitely get the grapefruit.
It's like a hint of
kind of at the end, almost like, so the last couple of shows, I tried a couple different beers. One was a Pilsner. We did some red ales for St. Patty's Day, which is, coming up. And they were real it cut you off, as soon as you swallowed it. And this is very much like that, but very flavorful going down.
Oh yeah, definitely get the grapefruit for sure. Nice fizzy. It's cold, so for being an IPA, this is a great summer beer.
This is a great summer beer, and like I said, because the bitterness volume is kind of down,
right? It's not.
I would totally drink this beer. This is a great cornhole playing, gonna chew the shit with the friends kind of beer.
Mowing the lawn.
Mowing the lawn. Oh, that is a great segment. I'm gonna mow the lawn with my get up and a brewski. Oh my God, that's coming up next time, okay? You better watch out.
Have you had this before?
Never had any of this.
Never had it? Oh, man.
Never had any of this, no.
Yeah, at my restaurant, at Mr. Zub's Deli, we had this on draft, and we go through several kegs a week.
Guess what?
It's very popular.
I would love to bring the Beer Divas to your place.
We would love to have you.
So we will set that up probably
they can watch us drink beer and eat pizza.
Stay tuned for more, right?
Hopefully we don't gross everyone out.
This is great beer.
Belching, cheese, beer.
Hey, what else? People watch stupider things.
My kids, and they also thought me coming here, I'm like, I have to go to work, and they're like, well, why are you all, dressed up? And I said, well, a friend of mine's making a YouTube video, and she has a channel, and they're like, you know about that? And I'm like, yes.
Oh my God, how old are you? I'm a lot older than you are, and even I have 2 YouTube channels. So, come on.
I'm going to tell the kids.
With 3 subscribers.
1, 2, and
yeah, me, my mom, and my husband. So hey, whatever. Screw you all, okay? So Mrs. Stoutfire comes in, she's showing me all this beer, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting excited, right? And I'm pounding stupid nails into the sign and stuff. And she's like, where did you get the idea for this? And I'm like, I'm flipping bored.
Hey.
You know, I mean, COVID, I'm a social person. And after work, Thursday night, Fridays, whatever, I would always go somewhere with my family, with my friends, whatever it was, and we would meet at one of the pubs and either have dinner or dinner and drinks afterwards. And, you know, COVID kind of just took all of that away and made everybody paranoid to be social.
Right.
And, you know, now that we're kind of going into the downswing with that, I'm like, you know what? I want to do something. But I'm like, I want to bring beer to me also. And I want to get out into the community and help promote local businesses, help promote local beers and breweries, and even educate myself on, you know, beer and the brewing process and all that, because, hey, you never know, I might be getting into the brewing business. So stay tuned for that later on. So,
and one thing, like
Love
during
it.
COVID that we've noticed, you know, in the industry, obviously we took a huge hit and things are by no means back to normal. But one thing that didn't stop was people still drink. People still drink beer. They still want a good beer, and they'll pick it up to go. We would do a lot of to-goes. And
a lot of growlers and that.
Yeah, all of it. People still, they were quarantined at home, but they still want to have their drinks after work, you know.
Right.
That didn't change.
But what we're trying to do is to kind of guide you, especially for people that, you know, you want to get rid of the stupid Budweisers and, you know, the big dogs, and actually know, hey, you know, I've heard of Brewdog, but I never really had, you know, the audacity to, you know, go out and buy one. You know, what's it like? What is it before I go buy a 6-pack of it?
Right. Because it's not cheap. You know,
Right.
Craft beer. I mean, if you want crap beer, you don't pay. If you want craft beer, you're gonna pay, but you want to know what you're getting into.
That's right. So Elvis Juice, 6.5%, grapefruity kind of thing, a little bit dry. Definitely low in the bitterness thing.
Sure.
Miss Stoutfire, what is your rating? What's your review?
So I always thought of myself as not being a huge IPA fan, but with Elvis Juice, because it's not so bitter, not overly hoppy, and it has that fruit essence, to me, I'm giving it 8.2.
8.2! Nice. I like it. Okay, so same thing for me. Now, we know that I'm not as of a hoppy girl as some people, and, you know, to me, this is a great beer that I would definitely have, you know, like she said, mowing the lawn, or, you know, just hanging out or barbecuing or something. My rating is 9.0. That's right. I really loved it.
I did too.
I really loved it.
Yep.
I know that's kind of a basic rating kind of thing, but it's up there. It's very flavorful, but for me, not too hoppy, because I was like, oh, IPAs, you know.
Right.
But I can appreciate them. It's just I don't want to be, you know, drinking a full gallon of hops with my stuff. So
it's very approachable.
You've got a little water there.
Almost knocked down the tiki guy.
That's the beer tiki. Ooh, beer tiki. Gotta rub his belly like the Buddha, baby. All right, I'll do this one. The next one is, it's called Hazy Jane. Yay. And it says 7.2% alcohol by volume, so it's going to be a little bit further up there. And the bitterness units are 50, so a little bit more hops than in the Elvis Juice. Let's try it. Definitely smell the hops already.
Thank you.
Definitely lighter color than the Elvis. More of a straw hay color,
yes, right,
kind of thing.
It's great too when you pour it on draft. It's so pretty. Like
when it just comes I smell the hops on this. Very big difference.
But you're going to be so surprised in the flavor. You're not going to be. It's not going to punch you. I mean, it's a little bit more than this, but not too much.
Right, because it's only 10. That's usually not a big. You're talking 100. That's a big jump.
Yeah.
But the smell of it's total hops compared to the Elvis Juice. All right, let's taste it.
Isn't it so smooth? For an IPA with 50
for an
bitter,
IPA,
it's so smooth.
It's fruity. I can almost taste a little lemon or some kind of orangey citrus kind of flavor. Definitely has that hops punch, but we're talking a baby jab.
It's like a flow, like whereas you taste it at the end with the Elvis Juice here, I feel like it's just a nice slow flow of the hops.
That's right. And totally not a dry finish. No. The Elvis Juice cuts you off. As soon as you swallow it, you feel like you got cotton mouth, like you're hungover and you need
more.
You need more. This kind of lingers on your tongue some and is pretty smooth.
It washes right out.
Yes, I definitely like that.
This again, not being a huge IPA person or super hoppy like you, Hazy Jane is one of those, like some of those real hoppy ones or real bitter ones. I'll have one or two, maybe, if that. And then I go back to something basic. But this, I can actually have a couple of these and I don't feel like my tongue's like getting all gunked up.
Yeah, that's right. Gunky tongue for Mrs. Stoutfire. We don't want the gunk.
Mrs. Stoutfire doesn't do gunky tongue. No.
Gunk tongue is bad.
They make a mouthwash for that.
It's called anti-gunk tongue. Coming at you, right? Pretty close. Okay. All right. Let's do your review on that.
Okay. So, this I'm going with a 9.5 again because
9.5.
It's super approachable. It's sippable. You got that flavor. You got that alcohol content. You're not missing out on anything. So. Yeah, 9.5.
A couple of those and you're having a nice night.
You're having a great happy hour.
Great happy hour. That might lead into a happy night. Okay. My review is 8.5. So I did a little bit lower just because if you know me, I'm just not as of a bitter girl, a hoppy girl as other people. But I definitely rated it up there because it's very flavorful. I can taste other things besides the hops. The hops always seem to get me, and then I don't want to drink that because that's all I have is the bitterness scale. And I don't even like bitter, like sour candies, like anything like that. I like the sweet stuff. So, I like it. It's good.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Okay, so the last one, let me drink the rest of this.
Yeah, so I've never have had this. It's they also have Brewdog also has. I don't get paid by this company, by the way, or represent them in any way. I just am a big fan.
And she has a local bar.
Yeah.
And so
I have to say the people that do work for Brewdog, every single one of them that I've met and the reps, they're just a solid company. They're just great. They're great people.
And we tried to get them on today, but they had other commitments. So next time, whatever they've got going that we haven't tried yet, we're going to definitely get them on and they can promote their own beer and we'll just drink some of it.
We were lucky when we went down there when they brewed us our own proprietary blend. We got to stay in the hotel they have down there, the Brewdog Hotel.
Yeah, I've never been down there.
If you have a dog, you can bring your pet. They have pet-friendly rooms. They have huge facility, outside stuff to do, tours of the brewery. The rooms were really comfortable. And then in your bathroom, they have a little built-in-the-wall cooler for shower beers.
Nice.
Right next to the shower. You just open up. You can peek your head out of the shower, reach around, grab a shower beer, and go back in. They have like a little koozie
Now that is my kind of place to go. We will definitely be going down there at some point, maybe this summer, and taking a tour.
You can get a mini keg in your room, and they have a mini kegerator in there, and they have a restaurant on site. Great food.
Doing a Beer Divas thing down there. Yeah. Okay, stay tuned, guys. All right, I love it. Okay, so the next one's called Hazy Af, and this is the non-alcoholic beer. If you would like to open that guy.
I'm super curious about this. Oh, yeah, they have a Punk IPA, which we can try next time. But they also have Punk AF, which is lower alcohol content.
So then you can actually compare what does the alcohol do to it.
Definitely, I can already tell right off the bat. It's lighter than the regular hazy.
Yep, still hazy, but definitely lighter. The other one was more straw color. This is even lighter than that, which you would find for a non or low calorie beer or non-alcoholic beer.
Right.
So I looked up. It said it contains lactose. So I wanted to know, what does lactose do to the beer making process? And you'll find different types of sugars from milk, usually in your milk stouts.
Right.
Okay? And what it does is those type of sugars, such as lactose, they're unfermentable by the brewer's yeast. So what that does is it actually gives it the sweetness, the flavor that you're looking for.
But stunts the alcohol.
And doesn't allow the fermentation to keep degrading the sugar. Because once you're out of sugar, there's nothing left to taste after that. Yep. And so the lactose is added to give it a little bit of that sweetness and a little bit of that richness that you get with any type of other beer.
That's interesting.
So that's where you find a lot of times you'll see the milk stouts. It's because they use different components of milk, such as lactose is a very simple way to get in there and give it some flavor.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's called Google, baby.
Yeah.
Woo!
You're a genius.
I am a genius at Google. I Google everything. How do I do all of it? Yeah. So I still
I'm getting the smell. Yeah.
I still smell that that hoppy.
Yep.
But not as much, of course. Okay.
I'm not getting as much either the citrus in the scent too, but I'm getting it, just not. It's not hitting you.
Okay. I'm getting a weird flavor. I don't know what it is. So I get the hops.
I'm like, let me chug it because it's alcohol free. Let me just get as much in here as I can to.
This is a good one to finish with, all right? We could drive home.
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, if you're going for, if you're not a drinker and you just want to have something to remind you of beer, it definitely has a beerness to it.
It has a beerness, so it's definitely light. It definitely has that effervescence of, I want to say, like a club soda.
Yes, I was thinking like a seltzer.
Yeah, seltzer with no flavoring, of that. So it wouldn't be club soda. It'd be like a seltzer water.
Like I almost want to put like a lemon in there or like a
That's
orange slice
I think
or
it definitely would need some type of citrus in it to just balance that out. But it's good. Yep. It's light. It's kind of smooth.
It is smooth. Yep.
Okay, Mrs. Stoutfire, what is your rating?
I'm gonna give it a solid 7.
Solid 7. I like that. So because it is non-alcoholic.
Right. But again, I think if I had a couple beers and I wanted to have one more, but probably shouldn't. I would buy one of those. I would buy one and drink it and enjoy myself and.
My rating is, I'm going to go a little bit higher and go 8.0. The reason being is I think I've had non-alcoholic other beers, and I think this definitely has flavor. Where the other ones, it tasted like you took a Bud Light and you dumped half of it out and you put water in it, and that's what your beer was. It wasn't very carbonated. It wasn't very fresh tasting. Like it just tasted like water. It's like if I'm pregnant and I want to have a beer, I want a beer that has some flavor and not, water. I'm already drinking water. Okay, but of all three of these, this one's my girl right there. I like the Elvis, ain't no but a hound dog, crying all the time. Give me the juicy Elvis, right? Give me that juice, baby. Get it. Yeah, I think I like that because I'm a fruity girl. I like the fruit,
Yeah. I think overall, I'm a huge Hazy Jane fan. It really turned me on to actually, from being like, ugh, I don't like IPAs at all. When I had that, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is an IPA. Like I could drink a couple of these. It's not killing me. I don't have the gunky tongue.
She doesn't have the gunky tongue. That's going to be their slogan. I'm going to make a t-shirt with it. No gunky tongue. Gunky tongue free. That's right. Oh God, you're so funny. We are going to show you next how to make a michelada. Coming up. All right, we're with Mrs. Stoutfire, and we are doing a michelada. You want to run us through the ingredients?
Yeah, so we're going to start with tequila. You can use any kind of tequila you like. Silver,
I just had the good stuff, which is the añejo.
Añejo. I love me a good añejo.
Well, it's smoother, and it's like if I'm going to make a drink, I want it to be really good. So that is actually from Playa del Carmen when we went about a year and a half ago before COVID. Yeah.
Nice.
So it's pretty good tequila.
All right, and then you're going to want lime juice, and if you're just making a couple, one lime's fine. You can turn one into a wedge for garnish, after one half. Or you can use your judgment on that. We're going to put a few dashes of hot sauce. You can also put, sometimes I'll rim the glass with chili powder.
Sure, and a little salt or something.
Yeah, if you want it, it's kind of like a Bloody Mary. If you want it to be spicier, you can put, more spices in, a little less. Then we're going to go with the Elvis juice that we had sampled earlier. Kind of chose that because it's kind of grapefruit heavy, citrus. You got the lime going on, the tequila. It's a great mix.
I think that's going to be good. So go for it.
All right. So we're going to start with 2 ounces of tequila. I got my...
I think you just pull up.
Is it? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're good.
Is it sealed? Oh, there we go. Okay. 2 ounces of tequila. This is a 1 ounce shot glass. I've been a bartender for 20 years, so I usually just eyeball it. This is foreign to me.
You're a professional. Go ahead. I am I put too much or too little, and then I don't know what it's supposed to taste.
If you haven't done it, and you're making this for the first time, it's better to measure it, because the last thing you want to do is make a terrible drink for yourself. Or
exactly,
your
and I'm not a professional. I definitely need to be anal about it, right? And that's not too hot. That's like ketchup to Mexican people.
Yeah. It's good though.
Valentina. Andale.
All right. And then 1 ounce of lime juice. All the different, citrus fruit is weird. Like they're different sizes, they're different juicinesses. You can measure it if you want. I just do it to taste. So I'm going to start with 1/2 here.
Okay. And then we can mix it and see. God, I'm not even getting any juice out of that. Oh, okay. That's not a juicy Elvis, right?
I'm actually, because it's not really going for me here. I'm just gonna do one of those. We'll do both because we got a lot of tequila in there.
We gotta neutralize.
We don't want to get scurvy.
No scurvy.
We want to stay hydrated.
Are we pirates? Scurvy.
Okay. All right.
And then we want to top off.
Pretty much what you want to do is, you're just going to top off the rest of your glass. I've seen some places serve this on ice. I think it waters it down. That's not necessarily my favorite. You can also, like a Bloody Mary, again, I've seen in some really awesome Mexican restaurants. You can garnish it with celery, shrimp, pickles, pickled jalapenos, stuff like that.
So making it almost into a meal like a Bloody Mary.
Yeah, and then if you're having a party, you can even make this like into a pitcher where you just would double or triple the recipe.
Now in Mexico, the one time they were, of course, trying to sell me a timeshare. And I said, what do you got? And they said, we'll make you a michelada. And they use clamato juice in there, which I'm not a big fan of clams in my beer, but it was very refreshing. And I definitely, if you took the clams out of there, I definitely could, you know, stand doing the, just the tomato juice, you know what I mean?
Right.
All right. So let's pour it up, and I want to taste this stuff.
This will give it a little mix too, like pouring it into another. Yeah, there's a really awesome Mexican restaurant around here, and they put in a huge like beer stein. It's gigantic. It's like a 64-ounce situation, garnished to the hilt.
All right. Cheers to Mrs. Stoutfire.
Cheers to Dr. Brewski.
Beer Divas. Cheers to you guys. OMG, I love it.
No scurvy here. Citrusy.
No scurvy. We will never die of scurvy with this. Wow, I love this.
And you can see too how you can play with the flavors. Like you could even switch out the lime for lemon. You could, you know, like I said, garnish it.
Or orange.
Orange. You could throw some celery seed in there. You could put some chili you know, make it
cayenne-y.
Right,
you can do it more, because I don't necessarily taste the spice. The stuff that I brought wasn't very spicy, but I could totally tell that you could, like, you know, whoop this up.
You definitely could whoop it up.
I'm like molting over here. All I see is like these little feathers. I'm like, oh my God, I feel like an owl.
Now I just want tacos.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I love this. Thank you so much for sharing this recipe. Make sure you guys, you know, write it down, check in the comments below, and I'll have the little recipe. And this is Mrs. Stoutfire's Michelada.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right, guys, that's it for the show today. Hit the subscribe and bell notification button so you don't miss any episodes. My question to you is, what's your favorite beer? I'd love to know. Drop it in the comments below. If you would like to be on the Beer Divas Show, I'd love to know. Hit me up in the comments. If you'd like to be on the Beer Divas Show or are a beer rep that would love me to sample your delicious brews, hit me up on the comments. And remember, don't worry, be happy.